Alright guys, so today we're going to do a little benchmark test. We have a 300 HP battery. We're also going to be using a Victron smart shunt. This is the 500 amp capable version. And we've got our two 12 volt 350 or so amp hour 350 watt heaters. So we're going to be using both of these to see what kind of results that we can get, and let's sort of see what happens. There's a bit of a jumble of wires, but that's just because these are normally, like I said, you put them in vehicles, and because of the amp draw, they actually need to get power from the battery. So just ignore the mess, I would say. So we also have the shunt app open, so we can sort of see what we're going to find. And we also have our battery. Each of our cells is around 3.51. If we go to main, battery's reading 14. Now it's interesting, here we see it's 14 volts, but here we see 13.53. So already you can sort of see there's a slight difference in the way the voltage is being measured. And that's just because this is right off the BMS and this is through a couple of wires, so there's a bit of a voltage drop. Anyway, we have set the device to the 10 volt cutoff, so it's going to basically run all the way. And now we're going to go ahead and do the benchmark. So for our camera today, we're using a little Android phone, and it's sort of positioned so that it gets a view of the two tablets. So with that out the way, we will begin the discharge test and see what we come up with. We'll turn on this heater first, and then we'll turn on the second heater. It's gonna get a little warm here, but it's January, so we could always use a little bit of heat. Just kind of move this slightly out the way so it's not very close to that. So yeah, all right. So for our test, we're gonna go set the discharge and hit begin test. Gives us a little warning, let us know that's going to take about 5 to 7 hours, and the load should be between 400 800 watts, and the batteries ideally should be 13.6 volts total and around 3.4 volts or higher, which we have. So we'll go ahead and hit continue. Okay, test started. Let's go ahead and turn the first heater on. We see the shunt recognizing, and we see here, let's go ahead and turn the second heater on. Okay, now both heaters are on, and we have started recording on our device. So yeah, now interesting, the internal shunt is reading 63 amps off the BMS, and the Victron is measuring 62.3. So slight difference, but as I said, wires can play a little bit of a difference. So what we'll do is we'll let this run, and like I said, it will take about 5 to 7 hours to complete this test. But we're, according to our machine, we're drawing about 800 between 813 to 810 watt. And according to the Victron shunt, we're doing 795. Now, both of these devices are set so that the screen does not turn off, which would be a good comparison to sort of see how we get between both. And then we'll also have a video time lapse to sort of, compile the whole thing and see what we come up with. All right, so let's let it run. We'll see how these heaters do as a discharge device, and also see what kind of results we get when discharging one of our 300 HP batteries. Okay. think we're like 10.7 volts. And according to Victron shunt, we're at 312. And according to the SFK, we're at 310. So Victron shunt's actually reporting 2.5 hours more. Yeah, and as I suspected, the heaters are going to run until the BMS shuts off, which is probably going to be pretty much any minute now. And this is probably going to be around. All right, there we go. It just went into low voltage sort of cutoff. Yeah, and as you can see, the shunt disconnected. So we will compile these results and see what happens. But according to our app, right at 4,000 watt hours. So 4 kilowatts. Okay.